everyone, and welcome back as always. We're back again.
Hi.
I have a lightsaber. Boom, boom, boom. So we're going to be watching, I have my list out. We're watching in chronological order. We're watching the Clone Wars. And we're going to be seeing episode 3 of season 3 today. So last time we watched season 3, episode 1. So it's so interesting that we have to skip the second episode, the in-between episode, to go to this one. And I know a lot of you probably originally saw the Clone Wars in its actual release order. So it's so weird that they jumped the timeline so much in this. But I am happy we are watching this way. It makes it easier to follow and everything. So this one is called Supply Lines.
Supply Line.
Again, it's called the Clone Wars. I think it's really cool that it focuses so much on the clones.
Yeah.
As silly as that sounds, I really thought it was going to pay more attention to Anakin, Ahsoka, Obi-Wan, General Grievous. Like, there was going to be all those people. Yeah. But, so it's kind of interesting to see what they're about. They're all very different, and I love the Domino Squad working together last time.
That was great. Finally.
Yeah, finally.
So it's cool. So now we're seeing teamwork.
Not arguing all the time.
I really do like seeing them work together, and maybe we'll be seeing the Domino Squad down the road again, you know, because we keep seeing reoccurring clone characters, and we're still very new to the series, and again, we're jumping seasons, but we have a long way to go, so I guess we'll really get familiar with certain characters that we meet, and Rex. I know Rex a lot.
99 heavy.
99 heavy, yep. So shall we get into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
So Supply Lines. I'm totally just assuming that's clone related again, but we'll see. I noticed, since we're watching in chronological order too, that it's mainly about the clones now, because before we were getting more of the
the leaders
from the movies.
Yeah.
We see Jar Jar Binks right now. We see Leia's dad, adopted father.
That's right.
So so Supply Lines. You guys ready?
Yep, we're ready. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yes.
A world under siege.
Aww.
The Separatists have launched a massive offensive against the planet Ryloth.
So we haven't seen any of this.
So
So this is probably where it gets confusing.
Jedi Master Dai and his men.
Master Jedi, we're running out of food and water.
I'll contact our forces in orbit. Admiral Dai, this is General Dai. Contact the Jedi Council again. Tell them reinforcements must be dispatched without delay.
Surely there must be something you can do.
The main reactor's been hit, sir. Systems are shutting down. We are dead in space. I repeat my request that help be sent right away. The shields are gone. We have no...
Trapped on Ryloth. Master Dai and his men are.
I love Yoda.
Yeah.
Senator, the fleet protecting Ryloth has been destroyed, and the supply lines have been cut.
Our blockade runners should be able to penetrate the Separatist lines and drop relief supplies, but they do not have the range to reach Ryloth.
That's so cool, because I think that is still Samuel
2,000
Jackson.
parsecs closer. We've dispatched a ship loaded with relief supplies to meet you on Toydaria. Representative Binks accompanied the shipment.
You must negotiate the treaty.
I understand perfectly.
This is where hilarity ensues. Jar Jar Binks. Oh boy.
This had better be
Dooku.
Sir, the Jedi have sent Senator Organa to Toydaria.
Send a message to Senator Lot Dodd of the Trade Federation.
I want that platform he was on.
Yeah.
To turn around.
Yeah. With the music.
It's like Australian.
I come to speak with the High Exalted King of Toydaria.
Hello! This is a diplomatic mission. It's a pleasure to be seeing you, sir.
And you, Representative Binks. We are obliged to deliver our message to your king in person.
So cute.
What are you going to think about that?
Your Sir Majesty!
Oh my god.
Let me do the talking, sir.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, convenient target. Oh.
I'm guessing he's the one we met before, right?
Yep.
We have come to ask for your help.
We are not part of the Republic.
Yes, Your Majesty. That is why we have come before you as friends. My esteemed colleague and I humbly beg that you allow us to use Toydaria as a staging ground.
Do not make your decision in haste, Your Majesty.
Was he from the movies?
Barjan, yes.
Looks familiar.
Yeah, he does look familiar.
Begging your highness, what's he doing here?
Why shouldn't he be? Toydaria has an important contract with his trade federation.
We have nothing to do with the Separatists. We are only here to ensure that nothing jeopardizes the agreement between Toydaria and the Trade Federation.
I see no reason for conflict.
Nor do I. The people of Ryloth are suffering, and compassion is a sacred Toydarian value.
I'm sure the Senator mentioned the Separatist blockade around Ryloth.
Is this true?
We didn't get that far. You came right into me.
Yes, Your Majesty. But it changes nothing.
Hiding behind him.
Yeah.
I must convene my ministers. Then we shall hear your arguments.
Yeah, it's a tight spot to be in. Because again, the episode we saw with him in it
Yeah.
was after this. You saw it out of order.
Yes.
Oh, God.
The right flank is collapsed.
The Republic will not abandon Ryloth.
Those are the same creatures.
Jedi. The fact
Mandalorian.
remains, if we stay here without
Right,
reinforcements,
right.
we're all going to die.
The right flank has collapsed. There's no leaving. We're stuck here together.
The operation the Republic proposes is purely humanitarian. But if you won't listen to me, wise king, listen to Senator Ornfree Tar of Ryloth.
Your Highness, our cities lie in ruins, so I cannot return home. Our crops burn. The Twilight people are starving. I appeal to you, great king.
At least he's compassionate.
Great King, Senator Organa is deceiving you.
Oh boy.
The inconvenient fact remains that this is a war. This will not be a humanitarian base. It will be a military base. The Separatist Senate will see it as a violation of your neutrality, a situation desirable to no one.
Wish his argument went first and then.
Thank you, senators. I will summon you once I have made my decision.
Yeah, that's a tough decision.
Yeah.
We can turn the ship into a bomb big enough to collapse the pass here. While we provide cover, the Twi'leks will have time to escape with the families over the mountain.
Brilliant strategy, General. I'll go tell the men.
Alright, hopefully it works.
I am sorry, Senator Organa. Toydaria must remain neutral.
A wise ruling, Your Majesty.
Side glance. Push him off.
What are Risa gonna do now?
My friends,
I was only kidding.
Toydaria cannot turn a blind eye to the suffering of Ryloth. You may use Toydaria to transfer the supplies you brought with you.
Oh, good.
That's only enough food for one, maybe 2 rotations.
And you must guarantee that the Trade Federation will not be able to link Toydaria to the mission.
I have an idea.
Compromise. That's cool.
That's good.
I'll signal you when the ships are ready to depart.
Oh boy.
I know.
Don't do this.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jar Jar, but
Oh, yeah. Right? I don't know about it.
I leave you in the capable hands of my colleague.
Yeah,
God, don't lose it.
We won't be able to hold off the droids for long. You'll have to move quickly to get your families out of danger. War turns promises into hopes. I wish it wasn't so. Tell him.
I will.
I love all these species working together, you know?
Yeah, that's right.
The droid army is closing. As soon as they're in range, blow up the gunship.
There is a gunship blocking our way. Go check it out. Roger, Roger.
Roger, Roger.
Careful. It might be full of clones.
I like how they talk like they're dreading it.
No clones, just explosives. Explosives. We will have to find another way around.
I love how literal they are every time, so it's like we know what's going on.
Move those supplies into the transport as soon as possible.
Oh, that's fancy. I'd be like, I can't even eat.
Oh, jeez.
The ships are ready to launch.
Okay, be cool.
Looky.
Uh-oh.
Oh my gosh.
But I'm taking it.
I'm taking it.
Or did you enjoy that? Hey, let's try this one.
They're following his every move.
Ooh, impressive.
Oh, she's juggling them.
That guy's smiling. All right, that's impressive. Improvising, that's good.
Oh, he's very suspicious. He's going to be the person.
What are you looking at?
Oh, no, Misa looking at nothing.
Do a cartwheel.
Are creating ritual style art with Trade Federation.
I've seen nothing.
Of your imagination, you didn't see that.
Oh. Come on. Wow, they're really close.
Wow.
Just exposed.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Run!
Run!
I don't see it.
Now he's angry.
He's mad.
Oh, cool!
Whoa,
I
right
love
in the
that
back.
back move, yeah. Haha.
Let's make the end.
They're right behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, he's getting shot.
Right, yeah.
Oh, him too!
Oh my gosh.
You're pretty.
There's too many.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
The supplies have arrived at the
Oh.
Right.
He fought to the bitter end.
Supplies from the Republic.
Yay.
If the Trade Federation has proof of any treaty violation, you are welcome to present it to the full Senate.
Curses!
That's it all.
Next time, you will not get away with this.
For now, at least, the people of Ryloth shall endure.
Very nice. I like that king a lot.
I do too.
Now,
he's good.
we remember him from the first episode. I believe it was the first episode that we saw, and that takes place after this. So that's when Yoda goes over to him to talk to him about joining the Republic.
Yeah.
And that's when Ventress was there trying to say that they were going there for other intentions.
Yes,
and trying to
okay,
convince
yep.
him for other reasons. And anyways, like she attacked him or whatever at the end, and Yoda saved him at the last second. And he didn't move, he didn't even flinch. I'm seeing like the timeline jumps more.
Mm-hmm.
But it is very confusing. I'm still very shocked that like we'd have to skip the in-between episode because we're watching 3. We watched 1 last time, and we have to skip 2. And I know they were trying something different for this show, but it is very confusing to do it that
It
way.
is, and I think it would be confusing for them, but there must be a science to it.
I don't know, because Star Wars is so complicated that I feel like, and I get it, like all the fans involved in this, you're just wired differently where it's so complicated. You really have to be a strong Star Wars fan to really understand everything that's going on. I mean, like, yes, you can understand the basics of the story, but you see all these characters. Like, I do remember a lot of the characters and the people that were, like, in
I just don't remember any of their names. Like,
I know.
So hard.
I know, especially like that one guy like that
but-
was with the Separatists or whatever that we saw in the movies, and he was trying to say like they should stay neutral and not
Right.
help out the
Yeah.
Republic or whatever to give them supplies.
Oh, the Great King, yeah.
I'm happy to see these different moments where you see these different people, these different planets who are with the Republic, are with the Separatists, are neutral, and it's true, it happens in everyday life. You can look at it and be like, oh, it's night and day, but it's not. Like, it gets very complicated, and, you know, they're trying to stay neutral, but these people are getting attacked, and they didn't want to be involved in the war either, so I
Right,
get that.
even though they want to help in the humanitarian aid, but if they do that, it might expose them to being on one side.
Exactly.
So
because it just depends on your point of view and who's there, you know, so it
Yes.
kind of sucks. So you can't just help out someone just to help them out.
Yeah.
You're taking a side in some way or some perspective, you know, so it's really hard. You're walking on eggshells there. And I'm happy the king actually went up to Organa afterwards and actually said, let's do that, but make sure we're not affiliated with it. Make sure you can make it known that, you know, it's the Republic's doing and no one else is. And so I like how he did that on the side. So he is kind of choosing a side in a way, but no, I get it. Like, he's trying to stay neutral, but I'm glad that he has compassion. I really enjoyed that when they were having that meeting the first time and they were hearing about all these people suffering and they will die without the help, that they actually really felt for them. And it's cool because, of course, Star Wars, there's tons of planets out there with actual intelligent life, you know, caring life, has families, and they all, a lot of the times, like, work together against the Separatists.
And I like the way that he tried to make the statement, you know, he put the hologram up with the king of reel off, and
and
we know we do need help. We need, we need.
And I love how respectful they are, where they're like, we're humbly asking for help, and they kept like bowing, like before when they first walked in to talk to the king, and they're like, we're humbly asking you to help us out. But yeah, like him even going forward, like yes, he's asking for help, but it's not like a meek thing. He's still being respectful in to himself and his people, but he's really sincere, like, can you please just help us? So I like how they show that instead of like, please, 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 like a desperate, but they're just like, we're humbly asked for your help. So after what happened in episode 1, the king finally decides to join the Republic because he was almost killed by Ventress.
I guess so.
Yeah, Jar Jar really stepped up, huh?
Oh, he did.
I
He
do
really distracted
like
them.
Jar Jar. I know
He
from
distracted
the
him. It was very good.
He was a little annoying in the movies because I felt like he was just like comic relief, but he was funny. He's an interesting design. Jamaican accent is really nice, and I have friends that are Jamaican, and it's a really cool accent. But in this case, like, it kind of made fun of that, and I know they're making fun of this character, but it's so stereotyped, and I didn't like that. But I do like him. He kind of grew on me in the movies.
Positive.
He's very positive, and he was fun in this. And I love how, of course, this ties into the movies from what I can tell so far. But I like how the designs are so close to the actual characters that it's easy to recognize them. Even the aliens, like, we do recognize some of them too, because they do such a good job with the details in the face and stuff, and some of the voices are the same too. Like even Samuel Jackson, he did his own character from the movie, so I thought that was actually pretty cool. I'm pretty sure that was him. Yeah, with his purple lightsaber. I love it. I love how compassionate the Republic are, and the Jedi, man, like that one Jedi, like helping out his clone friends, and they're all working together, and he got so upset when his friend died, and he was just, he fought to the end.
That's right, he did.
He really fought off a lot, but he was just overrun.
Yeah, and again, it's crazy how, again, it's a cartoon, and you can't always judge it by that, especially nowadays, but like people are freaking dying all the time. They're getting shot in the head and just dropping like flies all the time, and even the Jedi at the end, like how he just died, but he really fought to the end, and you really start feeling for these characters. So I think it's so cool that they actually show you, well, it is a show about war, so people freaking die in war a lot.
Exactly. And unfortunately, ironically, he died right when they were getting the supplies.
I know. Which, again, it's kind of good they do it that way, because realistically it wouldn't be perfect, so I'm glad that they were able to get the supplies through, but you have a lot of losses too, so I am really happy they were able to do that, and I kind of am happy as well that they kind of did it that way, where it's like sad, but you're
sad, but then you got an immediate
you're relieved and happy about the whole thing. So very good episode. I like it.
I liked it. I like the way they got the aid, but not all the aid that they wanted to bring over and have it, staying in their planet. But at least he let some go in. So that was a very good ending.
We saw a lot of new faces also in this episode, so it was still easy to follow though. So I'm curious now if these characters were introduced in other episodes, reappearing in this, but it was still easy enough to follow, and I like the recaps now, so we might get some spoilers here and there, but we'll see as we go. But at least we're able to follow it pretty well, So I think we'll end it there. Very good show. I like it so far. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you very soon as always.
Bye.
Bye, guys.